Greetings, classmates of the HHS class of 1960. It's hard to believe that it was 60 years ago that we walked across the stage in the auditorium to pick up our diplomas as the first graduating class of a brand new Herkimer High School senior high school building. For most of us, that was the culmination of at least 4 years together, playing, working, partying, and being a part of a family we call the Herkimer High Class of 1960. Indeed, many of us had been friends since our early years together in kindergarten. We were not going to let the pandemic stand in the way of celebrating our 60th reunion, and so we meet now virtually instead of physically. And the enthusiasm we've witnessed during the planning and during our so-called practice sessions has been overwhelming. These were, without a doubt, the most memorable days of my life. And as I pile through the multitude of pictures and souvenirs of those years, it seems as though it was just yesterday that we were all together in Herkimer. Each of us have our own personal memories, and each of us has enjoyed diverse and interesting lives that Herkimer High prepared us for. As we celebrate this milestone of our class, we thought it would be fun to have many of you share those memories and experiences with the rest of us. And so we have compiled this video book of memories. So sit back and enjoy the memories of Herkimer High's class of 1960.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. The weekend comes, my cycle hums, ready to race to you. These days are all happy and free. These days are all share them with me. Goodbye, gray sky, hello blue.
Hi, I'm Elaine Pettikevich-Burrell. Did you recognize the music from the 1960s series, Happy Days? The show was reminiscent of a simpler, gentler time that we lived in. My Herkimer High School days, for me, were happy days. Not sure if we had a Fonzie, but our cool Jim Minash certainly could have played his part. Dick Collins, maybe Richie Cunningham, whose character was all heart. And the role of Ralph, well, to me, Ed Gilbert always had us laughing. A funny story that I remember, I was working with a team putting together a song for Mike O'Brien, who was running for student council president. Larry Golden came up with the idea of taping the song and then slowing it down so it sounded like we were the popular Chipmunks. After playing the song on the high school's loudspeaker, I heard Frank Gegler say, if those kids put that much effort into their studies, they would all be A students. I'm so happy to have shared those happy days with you and our classmates that are no longer with us. And I'd like to give a special thank you to our Herkimer High School Reunion Committee for stepping up to the new era of visual communications and making this reunion possible for all of us.
Hello, class of 1960. Robert the Bruce, first king of Scotland. Nope, actually, Robert the Bruce from Herkimer High School. Going to take a minute or so here to tell you about my little story. I love sports. I played baseball. Actually, if we didn't have coronavirus this year, I'd probably be playing baseball with our local senior team. Anyway, remember a time in 1960, I think it was, we were playing Oneonta. If you remember anything about Oneonta, they beat us in just about every damn thing we played them in. Anyway, this was a beautiful day playing in Oneonta, and we were on the wrong end of a no-hitter. probably midway through the game. Anyway, Oneonta had a couple celebrities. They had a kid by the name of Constanti. His dad was a Major League Baseball player, won the National League MVP crown with the Phillies in 1950. They also had a kid by the name of Larry Santos. He played either third base or first base. He was a rock star, had his own band, wrote music, actually wrote Candyman for the Four Seasons. Anyway, they were beating us pretty bad, and I happened to swing late, get on first base. And if you know anything about baseball, they're always trying to pick the guy off first base. Well, I was there, and I was the guy being punished because every time that ball came over, they just slapped the hell out of me. And I still remember that today. I think I still got the black glue marks from it. Anyway, just want to comment. We had our own two celebrities, a couple of them anyway. We had Gas House King that was on our team. We had Per O'Brien. So we weren't the only team with celebrities. Anyway, happy 60th to all you guys and girls from class of 60. It was wonderful. Good time to grow up. Goodbye.
Sometimes you find people in strange places. I caught up with Garry King while he was in his farm field haying in Montana. We had a wonderful conversation.
Well, I got a farm out here in Montana, and I lease out all the land to my neighbor, and so we got a bunch of hay ground, and as part of the deal, after it's cut and put in these big bales, I take the tractor out and I pick them up and put them in nice, neat rows so they can bring a big tractor trailer out and load them and take them to market.
Can you remember any particular event that really sticks out in your mind?
Well, you know, I've been thinking about that, and there were a lot of great times, a lot of great classmates. Obviously, we put a lot of time and effort behind the football program and sports, and where we could beat it. That stuck with me the rest of my life because it showed what teamwork could do. We never went into an Iliad game as the favorite, and so that was that. But really, the thing that I remember about Herkimer High School is how lucky I was to be born in Herkimer, New York, and I didn't have any choice in that. Didn't have any choice in my parents. But I grew up in Herkimer with you and the rest of my classmates, and it couldn't have been a more perfect American upbringing than Herkimer, New York, back in the 50s and early 60s, but mostly during our formative years. The parents were great. They were all working. The town looked great, and it was just perfect.
If you had to pick one memory that really has stayed with you for the rest of your life.
Of course, the sports, especially football. These characters that were in there with me in the locker room were the funniest guys. They all could have went on and become comedians. They're so sharp, funny, witty. And then we weren't that great of a football team, but just beating Ilion 7-0 in the Mud Bowl in my senior year was the highlight. I'm sure you're going to hear that from Garry King and Bukowski and all these other guys. Would you believe I enjoyed getting tackled and all the guys piling on with all these pads we had on? It was like, it didn't matter. It just felt like love. Nobody came out of that high school like we were. We were like the last of the greatest generation, I guess. But that's what I remember about the kids, just not having no prejudice, friendly to everybody, helpful, and intelligent, friendly, kind, just everything you'd want in classmates. And that's it. What I'm thankful for is being from Herkimer High. It's unbelievable. Small class, and everybody just had a lot of love for each other. Amen. As you find out, the best years of your life, you hear that, but it really is the best years of your life. Student council, athletics, and the great teachers. You know, I really cared about you and knew how to teach.
Nick, what did you do when you were working? What was your field?
I got into what we call electromechanical packaging engineering. Would you believe? Zappia would have, he would have gone crazy to know that I got into engineering, because him and I used to go at it in math all the time. But yeah, in the Silicon Valley for 35 years, worked my way up into engineering, and made some money, and then the market took it, so we got out of town, and still we're doing fine.
Hi there, this is Carolyn Springer talking to you now. It's been so much fun being part of the Zoom committee for our 60th virtual high school reunion. I remember Herkimer High School fondly. We had some great teachers who truly cared for us. They inspired me to become a teacher. And I was a biology teacher, high school biology teacher for quite a few years. Ended my career the last 5 years teaching advanced placement biology in Elgin, Illinois. And it was one of the great joys of my teaching career. Although I didn't join our class until 8th grade, I certainly had fun looking at your first grade photo of your class. I recognized most of you, and it was so cute. Right now, I'm making this selfie from our log cabin in Maine. It's August 26th. The sun is shining brightly. It's windy, and it is very chilly. I don't think I'm going to go swimming today. Bill and I live in Barrington Hills, Illinois, and we've lived there for most of our married life. We raised our son Billy and daughter Allison there, and they went through the school system, a very good school system in Barrington. Unfortunately, we lost our son Billy to a tragic car accident, but he will be in our hearts forever. Our daughter Allison has been a great joy to us for all of her 45 years. And she was here a few weeks ago, and we really had fun with her and her partner and his 2 teenage children. It was really a great time. I certainly hope that we can get together in 2021 for a real reunion, but this is sure to be fun. So let's all gather together.
Hi everyone, Claudio Scialdo from Chantilly, Virginia, which is about 22 miles west of Washington, D.C. My wife and I are both retired, and we spend as much time as possible visiting and vacationing with our 3 daughters and grandkids who live in Denver, Austin, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Last summer, my family, along with my brother and sister and their families, took a trip to Italy. There we visited the town of Rocca Romana, which is the town my grandparents on the Scialdo side came from. We met our cousins there who still live there, had a great time with them. They showed us around, and we learned a great deal about the area my grandparents grew up in. Then we also went to Rome, Sorrento, and Tuscany, and of course enjoyed the great food and wine of Italy. We were very fortunate that we planned a trip for last year and not this year, because obviously we would have never made it. I also volunteer driving seniors and others who need assistance to their medical appointments and to the local food bank, which the number using the food bank during COVID has just increased by quadrupled. There are a lot of people using it. So I want to thank the committee members who arranged and set up this virtual reunion. They did a great job, well done. So ciao everyone, and hopefully next year we'll meet in Herkimer.
Hi, Janet. Can you tell me the one thing that you'll never forget from high school?
One thing I can never forget is I have Judy Grubner, Judy Enya, Sandy Robertson, and myself skipped school one day. And my mother happened to be in the hospital. Well, we walked by the hospital, and she saw us all going past the hospital. And Sandy changed her mind because she had skipped the day before, so she went back and passed by the hospital. So my mother only saw her going back. So she called my father and said something's going on, and go up to the house and check. So he came up, and I heard the car pull up, and I said, quick, hide. And I ran and hid in the closet, and the two Judys got under the bed. And he comes running through the house. He says, where are you? Where are you? And he came into the bedroom, and he pulled back the sliding door, and he starts hollering at me. And I'm thinking about the two girls under the bed, and I'm kind of trying to keep a straight face. And he says, who else is here? So with that, Judy Grubner crawls out from under the bed, and he starts lecturing her and me together, and we're looking at each other because Judy is still under the bed. And all of a sudden he says, who else is here?
Okay.
Okay, Judy in here crawls out from under the bed, and she looks at my father and says, hi, Mr. Gegler. And my dad said, you guys got to all go back to school. And he made us go back to see Mr. Gegler and confess what we did. And we got a huge lecture from him.
Janet, can you tell me what you're most grateful for?
My faith.
And
My faith has sustained me through so much. And I've been blessed.
And who gave you that faith?
My grandmother.
Oh.
Hi everyone, it's Julia Enia Morose. I'm just here to say I miss all of you. I can't wait for us to be together again and telling our stories, some good, some not so good. But they're all good, wonderful memories.
What's your favorite?
My favorite memory, I think, was when we all, and I want to say skipped school together and tried to lie our way out of it. And our parents knew and accepted it. Sure, we got grounded, but it was for a good cause. And I just can't wait to see everybody.
What are you thankful for?
And I'm thankful to have been raised where I was, among the people I'm with, or was with, and for all of you, and my children, and my grandchildren, and for everything. I just thank God.
My memory of high school, one of them is being in HMS Pinafore, and it was a wonderful experience. I have a picture here, I hope it's not too shiny, of the cast as we were taking our last bow, but what a fun time that was. As for my family, Tom and I are in a second marriage, so he has 3 children, and so do I, so we have 6 children and 5 grandchildren. As for jobs, after Oswego graduation, I went to Bethesda, Maryland to teach 4th grade. After that, I raised my children. After that, I became HR manager for GE and then GTE. I've loved all my jobs. They've been just wonderful. The biggest blessing that I've had is that I became a born-again Christian in 1973, and that has just been a huge blessing in my life. Many of you may remember that I had a younger brother, Tommy, 3 years younger. He lives 30 minutes from us, and he has bone cancer now, and I certainly would appreciate any prayers for his health, and I would thank you for that. And I just want to say hi to the whole class of 1960. Thanks. Bye. One of my fondest memories of Herkimer High School is when the French and Spanish Club went to Florida, came to Florida, and one of the places we stayed was the Flagler Hotel. At the Flagler Hotel, they had overbooked, so four of the girls, got to stay in the honeymoon suite, which was gold. So anyway, and now I just feel so great that every time I just drive downtown, I go by and I look for the honeymoon suite.
I just want to say hello to everybody in the class. You certainly were a wonderful group, and I enjoyed having you. I hope you've had a great time in all the years that have gone by since we were together. And now I hope all of you have a great time tonight. I think all thanks should go to Larry for designing this program.